Oh, alright. Welcome back to Paranormasight. What are we doing? We're looking for Najima and Tozawa. There's also the matter of Yoshimi's talisman. We won't get anything done staying here. We better get a move on. Oops. Okay. Oh, we added people. Yeah. Okay, this is the fiancé. That's Chozawa. And... who the hell is this? Husband of... oh... Michio's dad? Oh no. Michio... who's... wait, what? Okay, yeah. Michio's... stepdad, I guess? I know they had a bit of a rough household home situation. Who the hell? Oh, the principal. President of Hihaku Subs. Okay. Okay. So for some reason, Yoshimi had a talisman and we're trying to find out what that was. Oh. Say, man. I'm really interested in what they're gonna say to Harue, so I'm gonna start this. This might be a short episode, because I'm still not 100%. I'm still kind of tired. I haven't been resting very well, but I'm gonna try to power through and do my best, because I don't want to break my video streak. It's this and my Duolingo. I don't want to break my streaks. Okay. Ma'am, allow me to introduce one of our country's most elite detectives. The name is Jun Eryo. I'd hardly call myself elite, but either way, it's nice to meet you. This here is the brilliant Chief Inspector Tsutsumi, and yes, he's just as rough and tumble as he looks. Oh. There you go. Sometimes I really don't know if you're complimenting me or putting me down. So you two are detectives? This is my client, Miss Harue Shigima. Her father's a big deal in the police himself, so remember to mind your manners. Okay. A bigwig named Shigima? Boss? You know of this guy? Shit, I've heard the name, but you know I don't keep track of who's who in the upper echelons. There's no need to worry. I am my own person after all, and my father has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, did you hear that, boss? Looks like you're getting off easy again this time. Don't make it sound like I'm involved in some shady business. It ain't like that. You both seem rather jovial despite being detectives. How rare. All the police officers I've met have always been so dull. Oh. Throwing shade already. We won't find any dull cops here. We'll round up all your criminals with a smile. That's our motto. Oh, okay. Oh, lovely. Keep it up. Just hold on a second. This is the first I'm hearing of that. Well, you're right about them not being your typical detectives. I thought we might cause trouble standing in the middle of the street, talking like this. But so far we haven't drawn attention. Then again, that might just be because nobody wants to get involved with the case. I always like checking them out, but let's talk. What brings you here, Richter? You on a case? Oh, they know each other. That's right. I'm picking up the police's slack. I trust you remember the kidnapping and murder case from last year? Ah. Oh, I remember now. You're that Huruhei Shigima from the kidnapping case. Huh? Did I miss something? Don't be an idiot. It was the case where... Oh my god, what is that name? Munesada Shigima's grandson was kidnapped. Which must have been your son, ma'am? Indeed, the story was suppressed by the news. Oh. In the end, it was considered a huge failure on the police department's fault. Huh. Most of the investigation was conducted in secret. And unfortunately, the department is unwilling to reopen the case. Any investigation carried out afterwards turned up nothing at all, which is why I'm now on the job. So they never caught the culprit, huh? That's rough. So your findings have brought you to this place, then? That's right. An individual connected to the case used to live around here. Used to? That's right, as of last week they're deceased. We hope to talk to the family. No one was home when I checked last time, so we figured we'd try again. Interesting. It sure doesn't look good on the police to be mishandling cases like this. If there really was a culprit, it should be our responsibility to bring them to justice. Well, I do consider the police my people. Okay. So, you consider the blame to be shared. You've got a stern side as well, I see. By the way, ma'am, this might be sudden, but there's something I'd like to confirm with you. And that is... You gonna ask if you're a curse bearer? Do you happen to know anything about the 7 mysteries of Honjo? Exclamation point. Sorry, Chief, but that's hardly... With all due respect, investigator, I think my question was addressed to the lady. If you insist. What do you say, ma'am? Can you tell us anything? I don't know much. I've heard of the 7 mysteries, but this talk of curses eludes me. We didn't mention curses. Is that so? Well, I'm sorry for the intrusion. Come to think of it, I heard some things about this area last night. Something about a strange yet conspicuous man dressed in white loitering around. Wait a second. He's not exactly stealthy. I assume they're talking about you, investigator. Well, I won't argue that I'm strange and conspicuously dressed in white. And as it turns out, I was out here last night to conduct my investigation. Did you run into anything strange or out of the ordinary? Out of the ordinary, I guess I did observe a few suspicious characters. You were asking about curses just now. Why would a public servant be interested in the occult? Boss, Richter's a smart man. He can help us if we tell him what we know. Can we trust him? I can't promise I'll be any of help to you, but I'm interested in hearing what you've got to say. Something is happening in Honjo, isn't there? It must be something big if they've got you head office guys on it. Well, I guess it's alright. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Thank you, boss. I guess they don't really have any leads, huh? Listen closely to what we're about to say, Richter. Yeah, we need all the help we can get, I guess. So by using curses to commit murders, these people collect soul dregs to perform the rite of resurrection. And these curse stones are somehow connected to the 7 mysteries of Honjo? It's a tough story to swallow, but I don't see a reason to doubt you either. What an actor. We figured the strange occurrences happening around here recently are connected to these curses. To get this situation under control, we've been searching for the curse bearers to confiscate their curse stones. Do you have any information that might help us? That's tough. I never expected curses and other mumbo-jumbo to play into this all. But if we're talking about shady characters... There was this middle-aged fellow I saw on South Warigesui Street. He had an average build. He was anxious, like he was searching for prey. Boss, what do you think? Well, considering the location, it could have been Hideki Araishi. We already got his curse stone. Impressive, you two are working quick. Did you see anything else? Not that I can remember. That's a shame. Anything else? If you see any characters who look like they might be carrying a curse stone, it'd be a huge help if you let us know. Absolutely, I'll let you know if I find anything. Victor, perhaps you could lend a hand on our case too? There's a number of people who we can't track, and fighting missing persons happens to be your specialty, no? I hate to disappoint you, but I'm busy enough with this case. The faith of my clients is what keeps me afloat. I have to prioritize requests by the order in which they come. I see. Well, can't say that's not fair. What, do you need a private investigator? What do you need a private investigator for anyway? The cops should have plenty of bright folks to throw at the job. True, but this isn't an ordinary case we're dealing with here. Why don't they, contact the Paranormal Affairs office and, try to get some backup? Huh? By the way, that reminds me, Richter. Yes? You said the person who used to live here died last week. You would be referring to Michio Shiraishi, by chance. You knew? I thought so. It seems like we're here for the same reason then. Seriously? Michio was involved with curses and magic? Strictly speaking, the curse part isn't our concern. We're looking for Yoshimi's case. We're looking into Yoshimi's case. Yoshimi? Oh, right. I rolled my R. Hajime Yoshimi. That's right. He died on the job. I'm sure you've heard of it. I heard. It was a most unfortunate loss. So there's a connection between Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division and Michio. Well, hold on. Let's focus on Michio for a second. You think she had something to do with the kidnapping? Talk about unforeseen developments. Exchanging information should prove mutually beneficial. I'll tell you what I know, but in turn I want the full scoop on your findings concerning Michio. Sure, to tell you the truth. What? You believe Michio's ghost is the one who killed Mr. Jonochi. That was a name I've mispronounced a couple times. Jonochi. So he wasn't just mumbling nonsense? I mean, we haven't fully confirmed anything yet. But the testimonies we've heard and the evidence we've found point in that direction. I'm studying the art style. It's kind of similar. The inside lines are thin, but the ones that are on the outside and should be more bolder are with this sort of that art style that the art student was talking about, was it ukiyo-e? I think that's how you say it. The ink brush style. I really like it. I want to try drawing like this. I was thinking of redrawing my thumbnail because I don't like it. Testimony? You mean from those psychic high schoolers? Didn't they also say there was a chance that Michio hadn't killed herself? Wait, if that's all true, then he's cooking. Did you figure something out? Kankichiro Iwai. Huh? I love how scared she looks. Kankichiro Iwai. He'll be the next victim. We have to open the door to Shiraishi's house. Mean to look inside. Why is the stepdad, right? Hey, what's gotten into you? Boss? He's probably already dead. I'm sure the landlord would give us the key if we asked. Screw that. You know how long that could take? We can ask for permission later. Let's break in. Richter? Hey Richter, calm down. We can't just... he's... I really want to see you inside the house. Take that, you shitty door. That's how you do it. Richter, get a hold of yourself. I see you're still the same as always. Oh, did they used to date? Everyone, come quick. Look at this. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, she shouldn't be here. Ah. Whoa, what's up with this room? Boss, there's a dead body in here. Did I ever tell you the time I found a dead body? Whoa, could that be Michio's dad? Nah, that's her stepdad at best, if that. It's gotta be the body of Konkachiro Iwai. There's no doubt about it, the man's a goner. He's gotten real messed up. Looks like he's been here like this for a while. I'd say it happened last night. Eryo, did you find Jonochi's body in the same state? Now that you mention it, it looked as though Kohei Jonochi had died from a number of heavy blows. What are you suggesting, investigator? It was Michio Shiraishi. She's alive. Or someone's acting in her stead. She used the power of the curses to get back at the men who ruined her life. And I bet it's, what's her name? Yako? That's what I thought last time. That's ridiculous. You're suggesting she actually revived? It's gotta be that. If she's alive, then... It's... unless... Oh. My apologies for interrupting. I know we've just arrived at an interesting plot point, yeah. But do you really think a dead girl is going around taking revenge from beyond the grave? No. Consider this, what if Michio Shiraishi never died? Huh. But seeing as you've come this far, I'm sure you already know the truth, don't you? And so, I would have you answer me a question. Where in Honjo was Michio Shiraishi at the hour of 8 o'clock this morning? This morning? Is he gonna... Well, he usually doesn't reprimand me if I'm wrong. He just says like, oh, guess again. I don't really know. My theory is that she's in like Yako's body, so I would say here. I see. So that's what you think. Let's take a moment to reconsider what you know and choose again. Oh. What are you trying to say? Call me stupid? Michio Shiraishi, where was she? Should be here. I don't know. $8 I don't know. I feel like a dum-dum. she was alive and she did commit those murders. She would have been at the school at night, right? Or am I... But that was a while ago, huh? 8 this morning. Who's he? Yeah, Honjo. I'm guessing on one of the streets. I really don't know. Are you saying that she was at her house? At the candy shop? How would I know that? You don't need to call me out on that. The cause of... It may have been easier to consider... to reach that conclusion had you considered the cause of death. I'm not sure what he's saying. I thought maybe because that's where Yako was? I have a feeling I'm gonna be too dumb to understand the ending of this game. What? So you really think Michio Shiraishi's alive? Just think it through and it all becomes obvious. It tracks, but... Do you really think that girl could have managed all of this? First of all, Erio, go report this to HQ. Understood. I'll get on it right away. I'll start investigating this place. It sure isn't lacking in stuff that needs looking at. Why does he have pictures of Nejima all over? There's a bunch of photos of the same person pasted on the wall over there. Huh? Well, hold on. These photos. These are all of Fumichika Nejima. Gross. Really? Come to think of it, he was in the papers a lot back in the day. Oh, there's even more pasted up over here. These are all cutouts from newspapers and magazines about the Nejima murders. I don't get it. Why the weirdo shrine? Let's keep looking around. This jar is really old. Chief Inspector, do you mind if I look inside? You're disturbing a crime scene, huh? I mean, in normal cases, only the police would be allowed to touch things, right? Right. Erio isn't here, so let me take a look at it. There's just clothes in here. Not much variety either. Can't say they were big spenders. Well, I was hoping to find a kind of talisman here, but I guess we're not so lucky. I see. Thank you anyway. It's off-putting to look at, but I can't help but wonder what in the world this is. They're magic runes. They're used in Western black magic rituals. Most of the time they're useless imitations, though. I wouldn't get too excited about it. Oh my, who knew the Chief Inspector was such an expert on the occult? I just chanced upon that information. That girl with the spirit sense we mentioned, she's pretty informed on the subject. Someone was attempting to perform Western black magic in this place. Pretty absurd if you ask me. Of course, the person in question was dead serious about it all. There's nothing around to confirm his identity, but by the looks of him, I'd say he's Kankachiro Iwai. You've seen him before? I've heard he had a criminal record, so I assumed he wouldn't have held a respectable occupation. Is this what a curse does to a person? Ma'am, it'd be better not to look so closely. Is she into it? Oh god, it's amazing! Can you look at it again? Cruel is what it is. Oh. It looks like the things spread around here have been like this for a while now. This ritual, or whatever, was something he attempted up to recently. Plenty of the neighbors mentioned having heard strange mantra-like noises coming from here during the night. You think Iwai was the one chanting? Hard to say. Could have been one of those shiraishis as well. If we look through these books in the back, we might learn whatever it is they were trying to do. Oops. There are old books scattered everywhere. I wonder what they're about. Many of them are written in a foreign language. It'll be a pain to look through all of these. Let's save them for later and continue to look around. The sliding door leads to the kitchen. It barely fits the frame. What else? Oh. Decorations. There are candles and stones with inscriptions placed all over. Are these tools for some ritual? Hey, don't touch anything, you hear? Ah, that's right. Considering this is a murder scene, we gotta leave everything as it is. All of this can be used as evidence. If anyone besides forensics toys with it, it'll cause trouble down the road. With the window and the storm shutter closed, no light gets in here at all. It's pitch black. The neighbors mentioned they started to keep the house shut, like this not too long ago. These aren't just cut from publications. They even snapped a number of shots of their own. They must have admired him. Why else would they have collected so many pictures? Whatever the case, it's certain they were obsessed. Look at these. Pictures of Fumichika Nejima cut up from the newspapers and magazines. Whoever put these up was obsessed. I wonder what their intent was. You think the Shiraishis are somehow connected to the Nejima's case? Perhaps they did not, perhaps they did this as not to forget a grudge or something. It's crazy to think that Nejima might be involved in all this too. Do you think he might have anything to do with the body here? Maybe. The man's already out on parole. He's a curse bearer and with a curse stone now. He's announced that from sundown today he'll be going on a killing spree. Oh dear. There's an emergency search underway as we speak, but no one's yet managed to get a hold of the bastard. So he hasn't changed his ways. That doesn't bode well. To tell you the truth, the lady here isn't completely unconnected from the Nejima murders either. You don't say. That's right, we talked about it last night. 20 years ago I found a hand in Sumida River that brought the incident to light. You don't say. You were the kid from back then? You were really brave. You did a great deed. Were you the detective I spoke with? I had no idea. So you two have met before. Fancy that. I've been worried that Fumichika Nejima might bear resentment towards you, ma'am. You might be right. Unfortunately, that asshole is quite the resentful type. Oh dear. That asshole. I wonder who put the idea into his head. And now he's got the one-sided read, too. He's threatening to massacre the people of Honjo at sundown. Seriously? On top of that, he's been itching to get revenge on me as well. Of all things, the man's gone and threatened to kill my daughter. Damn, that's quite the threat. Certainly he can't afford to stay put here. The fucker wants to get us all antsy. When I finally get to arresting him, it'll be with a cool head. Not gonna give him the pleasure, huh? Well, if Awai and Fumichika Nejima have anything to do with each other, then this room might hold a clue to Nejima's location. Let's hope so. Is there... I can't move anywhere else. This is all I can see. The person who put all these photos must... The opposite? What if it wasn't loathing but admiration? But then... I don't think there's anything else to look at besides the books. What do you say, Chief? Would you let me look through it if I wore gloves? Well, it's not like I'm any help with foreign languages. Go ahead. Thank you. This seems to be a book on Western black magic. The same runes are written here, alongside detailed descriptions of the procedures. I suppose you'd call these grimoires. It's all a bunch of nonsense if you ask me, though. You think the Sawai guy was studying them? Perhaps to perform some kind of ritual? There are a bunch of handwritten notes besides the grimoires. Whoever it was, they're serious about this. Awai doesn't look like the type to be into this stuff, but you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Why would he be studying black magic? According to the materials, this here rune is for the restoration of youth. Perhaps he was trying to become young again. This over here seems to be black magic related to resurrection. Each one of these spells requires a human sacrifice. Talk about dangerous. Resurrection? Like the rite? I guess no matter what part of the world, people will turn to the occult for similar reasons. I'm wondering if the magic is like one and the same with this curse. What is it? This looks like a journal. It's probably a wise. A journal? His writing is surprisingly thorough. Oh my god. It's almost as if he was writing a report for someone. Oh wow. Now this is something. What is it? What did he write? This is quite the find. Let me give you a summary. So this Kankachiro Awai fellow, he's been searching for a spell to restore youth for years. So he was into black magic from the start? He believed if he could learn to successfully perform the spell, he could then use it to earn a fortune. To tell you the truth, it seems like he was already getting funded after he acquired this grimoire. You don't say. This is starting to sound familiar. But first, let's find out how he got his hands on this grimoire. It seems that Nejima told him where he could obtain the book when they were both in prison. What? It's nearly too much of a coincidence. Lucky not coincidence. It seems like Awai took an interest in the Nejima murders after it made the news. He admired him rather passionately. You might even say he worshipped the man. Worship? Nejima of all people? This was a time when students were itching to rebel. Anyone who did something to shake the world was bound to gather admirers. Awai had been collecting these photos ever since that time. And since he just so happened to land in prison at the same time as Nejima, he made sure to get in contact. This is a lot. I mean, even having it all laid out like this, the thought of Nejima being involved with these grimoires is staggering. I don't think we ever had anything pointing to that. What's the connection? To be honest, it's a shock to me too. For years we've been scratching our heads over the motives behind the Nejima murders. Yes, it's been a mystery to us all from the start. Whoa now. Wait just a minute. Do you think... No way, are you saying? That's right, the murders might have been for a ritual. He was attempting to perform black magic. The instructions written down for the sacrificial offering match up exactly with the acts carried out by Najima. Did they work together? You've got to be kidding me. So that the sadistic crap he was doing was all for black magic? That's what the evidence suggests. However, Najima tried to do some type of resurrection ritual, but Owai had different motives. Chief Inspector, you might think this is all stuff of fantasy, but no, of course he doesn't. That doesn't refute that Najima and Owai were both acting in earnest. This is batshit insane. You're telling me that Nutjob did this all for some hokey pokey resurrection? Shit, resurrection. That means there must have been, someone Najima wanted to bring back to life. Huh. Damn, that's it. That has to be it. Fucking hell, it all makes sense now. What is it? So about the Najima murders. There's some information that's been kept from the public. Go on. When we broke into his house and arrested him. We also found a baby? A baby? It was a girl, looked to be about 6 months old, but she was covered in filth. She looked so weak and sickly. We called the medics right away. If we were a second later, I'm sure the girl would have died. Do we know this girl now? So was Najima the father? He told us he'd found her under a bridge. He found her? She was abandoned? Sorry, I'm a flummy. I've heard of parents threatening to leave their child under a bridge as a threat, but to think it really happens... I suppose there are cases with the dead newborns found stuffed in coin lockers, so it's not without precedent. Whatever the case, we never found out the truth. But there's one rumor from back then that I could never get out of my mind. And it's starting to sound more likely now? Well, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard of it. Many believe Nijima's guilty of more crimes than what got him convicted. Back then a lot of girls went missing. Yeah, I remember all of that. Among the high school girls that might have been murdered, or maybe I should say sacrificed, was a girl who was pregnant. Oh. Goodness. That's horrific. He killed her? And dismembered her body. And we thought maybe the baby we found is what he pulled out from inside her. Oh my gosh, this got really dark. Don't misunderstand me. This is all speculation on top of more speculation here. She really shouldn't be here. But I, for one, never believed that man would just take in a baby he found under a bridge. And that's interesting that he felt guilty and he kept the baby? I'm feeling sick. Stay strong, ma'am. I know this is hard to hear. Like I said, don't take that to be the full truth. We were running on speculation back then. Now that this whole resurrection magic has come into play, we should consider the possibility it was his child, and that maybe he was trying to revive whoever the mother might have been. Oh, wow, it's so complicated. It's just a theory, but my life would be a tad easier if it were true. That's an interesting thought. If there's anyone Najima would want to resurrect, a deceased wife is as good a guess as any. The fact that he obtained a curse stone suggests that he had an interest in the rite of resurrection. Damn, you're right. And here I was thinking that he was only after the curse's power to massacre. Chief Inspector? Yeah? What happened to the child? Without a birth registration on file, best we could do was find the girl some suitable foster parents. How long ago was this? It was decided to keep the circumstances secret for the sake of the child's future. Well, I'm glad she was taken care of. Is it Michio? Is she the baby? Don't mean to derail the conversation, but there's still more written in a wise journal. We know why had managed to obtain the grimoire thanks to the advice he got from his idol, Nejima, while in prison. After conducting research and gathering more information, he determined he had a chance to get rich quick. Right, he thought he could make some money if he could successfully use rejuvenation magic. Correct. Turns out someone gave him the idea. That's wrong. Turns out someone gave him the idea. Okay. And get this. It was the one and only queen and chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps herself, Natsue Yamamori. Wait, the chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps? Yeah, that's where this leads. Here, let me read what he wrote. The Queen of Hihaku has a strange fear of growing old. Oh, that's why she has that hot guy running around trying to curse people. What's his name? I don't remember. The one that looks like he's from Big O. Her fear of death is even worse. If she does die, she wishes to be revived, and she will spend whatever it takes to preserve her beauty. Magic, rituals, and rites. She'll use whatever means necessary. Her tenacity is unbelievable. She is apparently investing money into any research on resurrection, the restoration of youth, and the like. So she would even throw her money at the occult? The places greed will take you. Well, then that brings us to Hideki Araishi. She presumably funded his research into the Rite of Resurrection as well. And that's what it all points towards. I wouldn't be surprised if the Witch of Hihaku pounced at the rumors of Rite of Resurrection. It's starting to sound likely. It might also be why she's spreading the rumor of having godly powers. It's a convenient cover for if she becomes young again. Okay. Godly powers? What's that all about? You can ignore that. Either way, I think Iwai took the payments he was getting for his research to seduce a family into taking him in to keep a low profile. The Shiraishi family, Michio and her mother, Toshiko, were just as unlucky marks, really. And this is where you get involved? Are you feeling steady, man? Huh? This has something to do with me? What are you talking about? Ma'am, please calm down. I just imagine him shaking her like an airplane. Iwai moved in with the Shiraishis to practice his magic. He needed a sacrifice to perform his youth restoration spell, but that meant extracting the life force from someone young. Uh-oh. Maybe he shouldn't be telling her this. So it was Iwai, this man. Iwai worshipped Nejima, so he must have despised Nejima's detractors. Not to mention he was captured and sent to jail once before. Surely he had a bone to pick with the police. So when he realized he had the chance to both avenge Nejima, embarrass the police, and acquire a living sacrifice at the same time. Fuck. You got it. Iwai kidnapped Harue Shikima's son and managed to score 3 birds with 1 stone. Oh no. She's cracking. You're telling me then that that hard man, he never had the intention of returning my child. Oh. It's so sad. I thought there might have been a reason why the kidnapper seemed to be mocking the police. He never wanted money. His aim was to humiliate the force, and it all makes sense. He must have used Michio to lower your boy's defenses. Oh my god. And then kidnapped him on his way back home. That man? He took Shuichi? Ma'am, please calm down. I understand, but you must remember to breathe. He shouldn't have told her this. You don't understand. You have absolutely no idea what I'm going through. This isn't a joke. I wouldn't expect the police to understand. You'll never understand. Living sacrifices. What a stupid idea from a stupid little man. She's gonna go Dark Phoenix on everyone. Okay, ma'am, let's just take a moment to breathe. Why don't we go get some fresh air? I can't believe this. This is, Oh no. Chief, I think it's best we take our leave. But before we go, there's one more important piece of information noted in his journal. Oh? Iwai got in contact with Najima last year, after Najima was released on parole. He provided him with accommodation and financial support. Is that so? He managed to find a hideout for Najima to stay in. Damn it. If anything, rather than use his money to support the Shiraishis, it seems most went to Najima instead. If Najima's lurking around anywhere at the moment, it's probably in that hideout. They didn't say where it was. Did he write where it is? Unfortunately, no. Not that I can tell. But it seems Michio knew where it was. She never met with Najima in person, but she was made to go in and clean up among other things. Oh no. What good is that information? The girl's already dead. No, she's alive. That's right, Michio Shiraishi's alive. If you can find her and get her to talk, you can get her to spill the beans on his hideout too. Investigator, I'm asking you. I should be going. This lady's not well. Oh no. I'm really worried about her. She might... I don't know what she's gonna do after this. She's gonna become a killer herself. Are you feeling better now that we've gotten some fresh air, ma'am? Fresh air? Without that amount of rage? I'm fine. Yeah, sure you are. Suddenly finding out who the kidnapper was really made me lose my wits. We managed to solve the kidnapping case by pure luck here. You're right. But Richter? I feel grateful towards Michio. Why do you say... Because she killed the kidnapper? There's that too. But it's for something else. If Michio is the one killing all these people, then she must have acquired quite a sizable amount by now. Soul drugs, I mean. Hey, Richter? Whether the kidnappers are dead or alive, it doesn't mean a thing. Revenge won't bring back my boy. And if Najima is planning to cause a massacre to collect soul dregs, then all the better. I won't give up on resurrection. So I'm counting on you. I feel like this story's too good to branch off into the other ones. But, I don't know. Oh, God. I really want to see... I'm wondering if I should do this first before I move on to these. Okay. Tokyo Cafe. It's so quiet. Ooh, sticker. You know, normally you'd be breaking school rules just by stepping foot in a cafe. I'll be in hot water if you lied about having permission from the police. Remember that. We know. It'll be okay. So what did you want to ask me? Oh. spell my curse stone. Yako, if you would. Right, we wanted to ask you about this. Oh my, a curse stone. An Okami mask. That must mean the Fool's Procession. You two were at the school last night? Damn, they're of all places. Yako, you're one of them? You're a curse bearer? Oh, please calm down, Mr. Araishi. Your reaction is too intense. It's kind of scaring me. I'm sorry about that. I'm afraid I got ahead of myself. What is it you wanted to know about your curse stone? What would be the best way to... I mean, I get this guy has a big ego, so my gut reaction is to flatter him. It's just a brilliant teacher like you must know an awful lot about these curse stones. Well, it's true that I'm likely the person most well versed in this matter. You're the only one we can count on. Mr. Araishi, won't you help us, please? Oh, am I now? In that case, there's no harm hearing what you have to ask. Oh, good. Thank you. Let's see. Oops. Rolled into my desk. Why is everything with the Rite of Resurrection and the 7 Mysteries curse stones happening now? Oh ho, taking an interest now that you've received one of the curses, have you? You sound like a researcher, starting your questioning with your subject's origins. Mr. Araishi, you're not the one who triggered the curse, are you? Oh boy. No, I'm afraid I had nothing to do with that. Rather, I wasn't even attempting to do so in the first place. Completing the rite itself has nothing to do with my research. Then, do you know of the ancient Onmyodo ritual known as the Feast of Shadows? What is that? Something from the occult? Mr. Kurosuzu, you look like the type to be interested in those things, but it's outside my field of expertise. In that case, why do you think the rite and the curses have appeared now? I believe this is the intentional work of someone. It's certainly not something that would happen by accident. Why is it that you want to know? Well, he might not tell us anything else if we say that we're trying to stop the curse. We need to make something up. Right. Well, you see, we just have such intellectual curiosity, and I think it could really help your research. I see, now that you mention it. Is he okay? Seems like he's reluctant to answer. Then how about... I feel like we can get him on like an emotional thing. Can we? Because he's obsessed with his research, but let's just ask him. Then what does that record of fates that you've been researching say about the Rite of Resurrection? Oh, I see, that's what you want to know. Allow me to elucidate you regarding the author of the Record of Fates. A special privilege, I might add, since I have yet to publish this in a paper. Yeah, okay. The Record of Fates was written about 200 years ago, in the latter half of the Edo period. It was written by a skilled but little-known onmyoji called Seiman Tsuchi Mikado. This is important stuff. If nothing else, remember this. Seiman Tsuchi Mikado? I've never heard of him. I'm sure you haven't. He was born into a famed onmyoji family, but split away to practice forbidden arts in secret. He used whatever name was convenient for the situation, so his real name barely exists in records. Or so it is written in the Record of Fates. Huh. As brilliant as Seiman was, he was also an eccentric. He delved into researching the Rite of Resurrection, a legendary forbidden ritual that had never been completed. However, by involving himself with this forbidden ritual, he was expelled from his family and eventually found himself in Honjo in Edo. The record of fates are written in the Seimin recorded are the writings Seimin recorded on the road to Edo. Oh, I see. So he wrote how to perform the rite itself? The rite of resurrection makes use of the Abe no Seimin specialty, the Taizan Fukan ritual, a means of communicating with the afterlife. It uses soul dregs to replicate the soul of a dead spirit that has been called. Replicate. Does that mean it's not the real thing? It's not the real soul, right? Oh wow, I never knew something like that existed. Thus it is thought the only ones who could use it are the ones with the ability to turn human souls into soul dregs in the first place. So the rite of resurrection calls for that ritual to be formed in advance. Then when the soul dregs are gathered and infused with the wish of whoever is performing the ritual, it can be completed. The contents written in the record of fates end there. There's no more? What about the 7 mysteries or the curse stones? There's nothing written about them in the record of fates. Interesting. The curse stones are separate from the rite of resurrection. Their curse is one used to enable one who is unable to perform such rituals to be able to use the rite. I see. Huh, that's similar to what Mio said, actually. How are they related? Excuse me, Mr. Araishi? What is it, Mr. Kurosuzu? You published a theory before the incident took place. It said that the rite of resurrection and the origin of the 7 mysteries of Honjo are somehow related. What proof did you have of that? You really know your stuff, but about that. That was somewhat sensationalized piece written for occult magazines. Oh, really? It was just nonsense then? Not exactly. Rather, it's not a complete fabrication. There's a basis for it. And that is, well, I suppose there's no harm in telling a couple of students so passionate about this topic. Thank you. We're cracking him like an egg. This is something I've discovered from referencing numerous texts unrelated to the record of fates. It was just after Seimin arrived in Honjo. There are records of a conflict over a ritual used to resurrect the dead in Honjo. A conflict over resurrecting the dead? Is this like a morals thing? I don't know the details. A man enticed the public with claims of a spell that could resurrect the dead, causing a conflict that ended tragically with 9 dead. That is the only remaining reference. 9 people fighting over a resurrection ritual. Is that when the curse stones were made? I call this tragedy the Honjo incident, and it has long been a subject of my research. And I suspect that this Honjo incident might be the very origin of the 7 mysteries of Honjo, yeah. So what you're saying is, the resurrection ritual at the root of the Honjo incident is Seimon's rite of resurrection? Yes, that is how the record of fates ties everything together. To put it in chronological order, first Seimin brought the rite of resurrection to Edo. We can assume that by this point, Seimin was likely using a different name. Then, in Honjo, 9 people fought to death over this rite, the Honjo incident. After that, the incident was covered up by an interested party, preventing it from being fully recorded in history fully. Eventually, it passed down in incomplete pieces, becoming known as the 7 Mysteries of Honjo. That's more or less the course of events. Interesting. I thought I was going to fall asleep, but that was pretty riveting. So that's how they're connected. Then if I'm getting this right, the 7 mysteries were basically required to gather the soul dregs necessary for the rite. Oh, keep going. And there's more. With this most recent occurrence of the curse, I've become even more confident in my theory. You are? Yes, the reason for it being. the resentful memories of the seven mysteries etched into those who received the curse stones. Resentful memories. Yako, if you really are a curse bearer, then when you obtained your curse stone, you would have had a resentful memory imprinted into your mind. Oh, I did. Exactly. Those memories are what happened in the final moments of the 9 who died in the Honjo incident. Broadly speaking, they involved dying while bearing some kind of deep resentment. The 9 victims became like 9 curse echoes, which over time became to be the spoken of the 7 mysteries. As the 7 mysteries, thus gathering the resentful memories granted by the present curses and connecting them together. It will reveal once and for all what happened during the Honjo incident. Let me say that again. It will reveal once and for all what happened during the Honjo incident. That's why you must tell me about the resentful memory of your fool's procession, Yako. Irk. Mio, should I? Yeah, I think it's okay. We need all the information we can get. Okay, Mr. Araishi. I'll tell you about the fool's procession. Excellent. Had a bit of a stretch, sorry. So basically it's about a woman who died from a falling Yakura tower at the festival? Interesting. It's not that one then. What are you talking about? Not that one? What do you mean? Among the 9 victims at the Honjo incident, that is to say the 9 curse echoes, one of them is Seiman himself, or so I suspect. What are you talking about? Huh? Seiman was one of the victims at the Honjo incident too? Oh, meaning an Onmyochi as powerful him also became a curse echo? Right, it would make sense that the curse stone tied to a curse echo like that would be special. The power of a curse stone is different based on the curse echo? Mio. Then maybe with Seiman's curse echo we could... Yes, we may be able to settle this whole situation. Hey, what are you two whispering about? Oh, nothing, sorry. Mr. Araishi, how many of the resentful memories have you gathered so far? I have learned a number of them, which is... the Evergreen Beach, the Foot Washing Mansion, the Ever-Burning Lantern, and now the Fool's Procession makes 4. Of those, the most important are the Foot Washing Mansion and the Evergreen Beach. What are they about? First, the Foot Washing Mansion. An Onmyochi appears distinctly in this one. Really? But not Seiman, I'm afraid. A female Onmyochi who sought the right of resurrection due to her obsession with her personal appearance. Her legs, which she always had taken pride in, were stricken with corruption after she was defeated by Seiman. Her curse echo is notable for being particularly easy to fulfill the requirements necessary to use the curse. That detective did well to escape this one. So the female Onmyochi and revival of Seiman was involved in the Honjo incident? That's certainly interesting. Next, the Evergreen Beach. This curse echo is from a craftsman of Netsuke carvings named Jinkichi, who was hanged for spreading baseless rumors. He apparently spoke of something that granted the ability to bring back the dead. The right of resurrection? Precisely. This man Jinkichi must have been in contact with Seiman. If I could collect all the memories, everything will be revealed, and the truth of the 7 mysteries will be mine. That is the knowledge I desire. Meaning you need to gather as much information as you can from these curse bearers. Precisely. I have an agreement to exchange information with those detectives, but they might not even find the other curse bearers, so I must take measures of my own. Another thing. Yes? You never really finished about what the trigger for all of this was. Well, I don't know. Really? Come on. Spill the tea. Pour the tea. You're not hiding something from us, are you? It has something to do with how you obtained the Record of Fates, right? How did you really get a hold of the Record of Fates? To tell you the truth, we're in a race against time. It could be a disaster if we don't hurry. What are you talking about? Someone left a warning that at sundown today, they would use the curse to kill a lot of people. The one who left that message is the culprit behind the Nejima murders from 20 years ago. What? Something so terrible will happen? I won't allow potentially hundreds of people to become victims of a curse. I'll do anything in my power to stop it. Mr. Araishi, please, tell us everything you know. I'm sorry, but I truly don't know anything. The truth is, I was given the Record of Fates by a woman. A woman? Well, her voice sounded like a woman's, but I didn't actually see what she looked like. 1 month ago, while I was investigating at night, I suddenly heard a formless voice. A woman's voice? It said, I entrust you with this ancient manuscript, and the right of resurrection held within its pages. Spread rumors of this ritual as far and wide as you can in the coming month. And before I knew it, an old document had fallen down at my feet. 1 month. She specified that the time period? I was told if I did that, I could study the manuscript as much as I pleased. I wanted so badly to verify its authenticity, I ended up accepting. I haven't heard anything from the voice since then. It must have had you spread the rumors in order to strengthen the power of the curse. To tie together the curse and the desire to seek out the right. This makes it likely that the owner of the voice is the mastermind behind all of this. A woman? Hence I went public with the Record of Fates. Hihaku and occult magazines immediately jumping at the news was a financial boon for me. Huh? Hihaku? As in Hihaku soaps? Right, I mean, no, that's not important. Just some personal business. After that, I waited to predict what would occur in a month's time. That's when the curse began. Can you look over that again? Is it... So... I'm talking to you like as if you're interacting with me. Is it, what's her face? I don't remember her name. This is the hawk I was talking about. What's the name of the soap lady? I'm not finding her. I feel so silly. There, that's a Yamamori. Maybe she's the one that had the Record of Fates and just dropped it at his feet. Those are the details that I have. Very well, I've told you this much. I may as well give you one more thing. Oh, how kind. Thank you. What might that be? About Seaman's Record of Fates. There's a sort of continuation to it. Another document called the Record of Fates Yin Scroll. Really? A continuation? Actually, a section written in Seaman's own hand was appended to the manuscript. According to which, after the Honjo incident, Seaman lamented that such a calamity taking place. He apparently wrote the addendum for the event that the tragedy became its own curse. It seems he had an idea that the victims of the Honjo incident would turn into curse echoes and be used to gather soul dregs. It supposedly details how to handle any trouble that occurs as a result of the rite of resurrection. Really? Hold on a second. Don't you find that strange? What's the matter, Miss Sakazaki? You think my information is inaccurate? If Seaman died in the Honjo incident, then he couldn't have written an addendum. You really don't get it, do you? Huh? Am I wrong? Have you forgotten the ability Seaman possessed? Of course not. He could use the right of Oh. You're telling me Seaman used it on himself? The rite of resurrection can be carried out in advance so that it activates when the soul dregs are gathered together. Oh. Does that mean someone has already cast it? Then is it not possible that Seaman himself was resurrected by the rite after it all took place? But he'd still have to collect the soul dregs he needed to use the rite. Yes, and that's why they died. 8 others besides Seaman. What? They died in the Honjo incident for their soul dregs? That sounds like it's the same as what's happening now. That's why I need the resentful memories. To learn the truth. I get it now. The issue at hand is that the Yin Scroll and the Record of Fates were supposed to have been passed down as a set. When I received the Record of Fates, the Yin Scroll was gone. Only this information was left. Supposedly, Seaman's blood descendants guarded it as they passed it down across generations. It seems that over their long history, the 2 documents became separated, and the scroll's location lost as the family line branched. Seaman had descendants? So there's someone out there related to him by blood even now? Yes, in fact I tried to trace the line as far as I could. He wasn't a well-known Onmyoji to begin with, so a detailed family tree does not exist. It seems likely that the use of the manuscript has been long forgotten, only being passed down out of tradition. And since they aren't even aware of what they have, tracking it down has been quite tricky indeed. I wish I could ask whoever that voice belonged to about the Yin Scroll. I'm sure you do. So basically, in the Record of Fates, Yin Scroll, Seaman himself wrote about ways to handle the curse and the rite, yes? Yes, that's right. I've been searching for it all this time, but haven't found a single lead. So if you two find anything out about, other resentful memories or the Yin Scroll, tell me immediately. You owe me that much for telling you all this, do you not? That's the real extent of everything I know. Nice. Yes, I understand. Thank you for your help. If you bring me some useful information, I'll take it into consideration for your school grades as well. Oh boy. What time period is this? I'm only saying it because people have like interesting hair. We've learned a lot. So to sum it up, there was a tragic incident with people cursing each other for the rite of resurrection in the Edo period as well. And the Record of Fates Yin Scroll may have info we want, since it details how to stop the rite. I think that's about it. Right. If we could just find the Yin Scroll, we might be able to learn how to settle the situation. But even Mr. Oraishi didn't have any leads on where it is. How do we start looking for it? Someone involved in this now must have some connection to it, I think. I have a feeling the mastermind who awakened the curses is involved too. Right. Okay, I'm gonna end that here, because I'm kinda, my mouth's getting a little dry. But I'll get back to this next time. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye.